More of your news now, and a £200,000 pay package for Norfolk's Chief Constable has been defended by the county's police authority. Ian Macpherson was given a £70,000 relocation package when he moved from his previous position in North Yorkshire back in 2007. Well, that sum included the stamp duty on his house in Norfolk. His current salary is £129,000. Norfolk police authorities say that's in line with top county council managers. They also have the option of awarding Mr Macpherson an annual performance-related bonus of up to 15% of his salary.
A man has been arrested following the discovery of a body in Colchester. Police were originally called to a flat on Charles Pell Road on Monday following concerns about the welfare of a man living there. The flat was empty, but further inquiries led police to discover a man's body at a different flat on the same road. A post-mortem examination is due to take place later. A 21-year-old man from the town has been arrested and is being questioned at Colchester Police Station. The jury in the trial of Peter Tobin, accused of killing Essex teenager Dinah McNichol, has been sent home because the defendant is too ill to attend court. Jurors were told Tobin, who had developed shingles, needed surgery. Tom Barton has this report.
14 days after it opened, the trial of Peter Tobin has been halted and the jury sent home. The jury here hadn't heard any evidence for more than a week after Tobin fell ill with shingles, and today the judge, Mr Justice Calvert-Smith, told them that he developed complications and would require surgical intervention. He said the trial would be reheard in front of a new jury once Tobin has recovered. Tobin denies killing 18-year-old Dinah McNichol from Tillingham in Essex in the summer of 1991. She disappeared after visiting a music festival in Hampshire. 16 years later, her body was found in the garden of Tobin's former home in Margate, Kent. Another body, that of 15-year-old Vicky Hamilton, was also found in that garden. The jury had been told that Tobin is already serving a life sentence for her murder. After 18 years of waiting, Dinah McNichol's father, Ian, seen here earlier in the trial, will now have to wait another 5 months to hear for sure what happened to his daughter. A fresh trial is due to begin on December 14th. Tom Barton, Anglia News at Chelmsford Crown Court.
Police in Ipswich are looking for witnesses to a suspected assault on a woman at the weekend. A 20-year-old woman was found in a distressed state by a member of the public on Friars Street at around 1:30 on Sunday morning. She suffered minor injuries. A police cordon was put up nearby on Civic Drive in relation to the incident.
Fire crews in Essex are to vote on industrial action over proposed cuts to the service. The Fire Brigades Union claims the cuts planned by Essex Fire and Rescue will compromise safety. The Fire Authority proposes to cut the number of firefighters from 954 in December 2008 to 905 in March 2010. It says the safety of frontline crews remains a primary consideration.
A school in Ipswich, closed for a week after an outbreak of swine flu, has reopened. Pupils at St Albans Roman Catholic High School in Digby Road were sent home last week with one confirmed case of the virus among teaching staff and a number of suspected cases involving both staff and pupils. St Albans has nearly 1,000 pupils aged between 11 and 18.
Next, they were among the heroines of Britain's war effort, and now members of the Women's Land Army have been honoured at a ceremony in Essex.
The Land Army formed in 1939 to help provide food for wartime Britain. Well, last night, more than 30 former land girls got together in Braintree, as Serena Sandu now reports.
A tea party that would have done VE Day itself proud. These are the Land Girls of Essex, guests of Braintree District Council for the day. A chance to get together and reminisce about those wartime days almost 70 years ago.
It was a great culture shock for many of the young women because they'd lived in towns, they didn't know one end of a cow from another, and also weren't really used to the rather primitive conditions of living in the countryside in those days.
They were the unsung heroines of our wartime effort. With the men away fighting in the Second World War, it was the young women who worked in the fields and farms to provide food for the nation. At a peak in 1943, there were 80,000 women working on the land. For some, it was more than a job. Sylvia Hermit met her husband of 61 years working on a cattle farm in Essex.
He was a German prisoner of war, but he was sent back to England as the war had finished, and unloaded at Liverpool and was sent to a working camp in Essex, where he was sent out onto the farm for working where I was.
For Sylvia and the rest of the Land Girls, a fitting tribute for the women who provided for their nation. Serena Sandhu, Anglia News.
One of the most historically significant items at a National Trust stately home in Norfolk is back on display. The Mortlake tapestry is the last in a set of 8 to return to Blickling Hall near Elsham after being restored. It's the first time in a decade that visitors can see the complete set of tapestries.
And the 80s pop star Kim Wilde has opened a new summer house for children at the Princess Alexandra Hospital in Harlow. While she was there, the singer-turned-gardener met the teenager behind the charity that paid for the project. Stacey Johnson set up Kisses for Kids after suffering from a brain tumour herself.